aquaculture by focusing on Oliver Smith. So today I'm going to talk about the problem statement, problems he's dealing with, what he needs to fix. We'll talk a little bit about Oliver, his lifestyle, what he likes to do. We'll go over his current financial analysis, so if he's in debt, what money he has to move around, what the deal is there. And then we created 3 alternatives for him to choose from, or we'll recommend one. So yeah, then we'll decide which one we'll base our decision off of, the main ideas. Recommendation, we'll pick one, we'll tell you why we recommend it, and then how we'll recommend, or how we'll follow through with it in the implementation plan, and we'll answer any questions. So
I'm going to tell you about Oliver. He enjoys entrepreneurship. He's a people person, outgoing. He likes sports, and he's active in extracurriculars, so basketball and a case study team. And he enjoys cooking, and he's interested in a small business. So the problem statement is he does not think he can attend university full-time and grow his business. And he is feeling pressured by his parents and teachers to attend university and not pursue his small business.
Okay, so Oliver Smith's current financial analysis. So this is just an overview of what his expenses are right now, in the present right now. So before he's made his decision is what he wants to do. So it all equals to about $600. He has a management income from his business of $625. So all of his expenses come up to $600, and the $25 extra goes into a TFSA every month. He puts $25 into it. And the income statement for his business, pop culture, sorry, he has sales of $30,000, and all of his expenses there, costs of goods sold, come up to. Geez, I'm starting that crazy. 18,000 is, oh my God, so sorry. Purchases, delivery charges, and the popcorn waste come up to a total of 18,000, sorry. And with a gross sales profit loss of 12,000 in the end. And then for his expenses and everything, so you got the $12,000 of total expenses. So that you look on the left there, the chart, all of those expenses all equal up to $12,000 with a net income in the end of $0.
So we have 3 alternatives. One is one pop away, so pursuing a small business. And then university life is going to university and taking entrepreneurship. And then best of both worlds is we chose to put both of them together. So alternative 1 is one pop away. So Oliver would pursue running this popcorn business full-time, and the pros of that is he'd be a full-time entrepreneur, he would get real-life world experience, and he would have a higher income than he would when going to university. And for the cons, he would have an unpredictable future because you don't know how the business will turn out, and then he would have no education, and he would be losing the scholarship that he got to Simon Fraser University.
So let's go to the cash flow here for that one. This is just on the pop culture business by itself. Year 1, with the initial investment that he's getting from grants and parents investing, he's going to accumulate $30,000. He's a good entrepreneur, right? So projected net sales are going to be $60,000 the first year projected. So with that, the cost of goods are going to be around $24,000. Expenses, that's his part-time wage, including his own wage, which we increased it. We've fluctuated all the numbers too. We've moved them around to make fair wages, fair numbers. So at the end of the day, year 1, his company will make $20,000 in their pockets after expenses and everything. So that goes for year 2. We projected $70,000, and just slowly increases every year. So as you can see there, so is the net income at the end of the day. So
alternative 2 is him going to university, and he would be accepting the scholarship that he achieved, which would be the tuition and books and everything, and he would be dropping his small business. His parents have invested in his education, so they've already put away a little bit of money, and we decided he could sell his car for monthly spending allowance. And the pros of that is he's pleasing his parents, and he's saving the tuition money, and his con is not making an income, and he's missing out on an opportunity for a small business.
So the cash flow is not too special for this one. He's not making any income. So where we base the income off of is from selling the car for he'll ask 5,000, get it for 4,000, right? So we'll get we'll split that up for monthly. 250,000 or $250 a month is allowance for food, whatever he needs to buy, clothes, which also is convenient his expenses. And then we'll put the other 2,000 from the car into a TFSA, just in case an emergency, anything goes wrong. He's got money that he's right there in hand if he needs to pull it out.
So our last alternative is best of both worlds. So that means he's pursuing his education and his small business. So we decided he will transfer his manager's salary to his friend to run the business, and he would take part-time. And then the pros of that is he's still running his business, which makes him happy. He's getting his education, and his parents are behind him. And the cons is he's making less money. It might be a little stressful running a business and going to school. And he's not in control anymore because his friend has taken over.
So we're going to start off with just the pop culture cash flow. It's basically exactly the same as if he were to do it full-time because he's paying his loyal friend that he made networking, right? His friend that he made networking is going to run the business for him, so it's basically like he's there, but he's just going to swap around the part-time wage. Oliver will take the part-time wage while he's going to school, and his friend will take the manager wage. So it essentially just stays exactly the same for the first 3 years. And then if we move on to his personal cash flow, that's where it gets a little bit different. As you can see, we took his part-time salary increased by $500 every year. That's just from moving those numbers around every year. His expenses stay the same because he's doing the same thing going to school. Not much is going to change for him. And we invested that's the money from the car. We invested half of it into a mutual balance fund. So he's going to earn 8% on that one, compounded monthly, if he's lucky. So, so at the end of the day, he's going to make about just over $1,000 in interest, which is pretty good considering he started out with only, that's a $3,000 initial investment. So he's going to earn about just over $1,000 of interest. And then the other $1,000 we'll put away into a CAT emergency savings fund. And that one increases because the $500 that he's earning from his increase in salary is going to increase by $500 every year. So he's just going to put that straight into the savings fund. And then that's also with 2% inflation rate. All these numbers are.
All right, so the decision criteria, what we're going to put into our equation in order to get the best outcome for Oliver. So we're going to look at, is he financially stable? Is he comfortable with what he's doing money-wise? His entrepreneur lifestyle, he likes being a business owner, he likes what he does. So we want to make sure he's happy in that area as well. And education is obviously important. That's why we're here, right? So, but yeah, he's got a big opportunity with that university, so we're going to see if we can fit that into his plan as well. So recommendation, so our first alternative, one pop away. He's financially stable with making all the money coming in full-time, working that business. And entrepreneur lifestyle, he's got it obviously, he's running his own business, he's doing what he likes to do. Our second alternative, going to university full-time and taking the part-time wage while his friend takes the full-time manager wage. So he has somewhat of an entrepreneur's lifestyle. He's making the part-time wage. He's still somewhat running the business from university. And he's getting his education that he wanted from the university with the scholarship that he was offered. And then we have our third alternative, the best of both worlds. He's financially stable because he's running the business, making the manager wage, his entrepreneur lifestyle, he's running the business, he's doing what he loves, and his education, he's taking his step into university with the scholarship that he's getting and not wasting it away. So the implementation plan, what he's going to do in order to exceed this, he's going to accept the scholarship that he was offered. He's going to sell his car for the $4,000, asking $5,000, right? He's going to buy a bus pass, which we figured out was, I think, $316, I think, over there. For the whole year of schooling. And then he's going to use the money from his family that he got, the government grants, working through there for the business, and money to kickstart the pulp culture. Pop culture, I keep saying pulp for some reason. He's going to pay the trusted friend his manager wage while he's at school, and he just take the part-time wage for a temporary amount of time. He's going to invest in a mutual balanced fund with 8% compounded monthly return, and in the end, he'll decide whether he wants to continue with that business, because he did say that he was willing, like going to school will give him new ideas of what he wants to do in the future, so maybe the popcorn business won't intrigue him as much, considering all this new information he may learn at the school in this 4 years that he is there.
Okay, so yeah, just to add on to that there, the cash flow for this, we went to 4 years just because that's when he began school, right? So this is the pop culture cash flow. So his company, in the end, I'll just skip all those numbers because they're mostly just the same. But in the end, we decided he should save the money from the company each year. And then after he's done school, they built up $93,000, which is that's a pretty good amount of money. So he can decide if he wants to reinvest into the company and make it huge into the $7.8 billion market, or does he want to do something else? So he's got the choice now. He's got the money there, ready to go. So when he's done school, he can go back to being the entrepreneur in full control. He can decide what he wants to do. And then, any questions?
Yeah, I know what. Okay, a couple. Transferring management over and losing control. Have you guys thought of that affecting the overall sales of the company at all? Because he's not facing the company.
I don't think it'll affect the company. None of us think it will. He's grown up with his friend. They both have the same knowledge in business. They're both entrepreneurs, right? So he's still got enough control from going to school that I think by the time he comes back from school, because it's only 8 months out of 12, so when he comes back, he'll kind of be able to control it a little bit more. I don't know, it's kind of, yes. Yes, I think the business will do just fine without him being there full time. I think part time is enough for him to succeed.
You had an 8% compounded monthly return in a mutual fund. What happens if that goes to negative 8? What happens to his cash flow at that point? Because it's not a guaranteed investment at that point. So you're putting into a mutual fund, 8% is relatively healthy. What happens if that goes to the negative mark? How does that affect?
That would affect them quite largely, I would suppose. That was just one of the things. Oliver's a risk taker. He likes to take risks. He had said that he was a large risk taker. He liked, obviously I'm repeating myself 3 times now, but he'd take larger risks and he's comfortable with that. So that was just something we were willing to do. And if it was to happen, I guess we would deal with it, I guess, at the time.
Just to add on to that fund wasn't too important towards the business part either. That was more of a savings account for after he's done school, right? Mm-hmm. So that would just be a personal loss in him, not the company. So it wouldn't affect him as much as the company. So the company would still succeed with the negative 8%.
Good job, guys. Nice analysis. You base your assumption on the assumption of sales going to 60,000 on the fact that you would be able to get what the funding is in the government grant, right? What if it's not guaranteed thing? What if they don't get it? Do you think about any other avenues of raising funds?
They had said in the case that his parents had put money away for him for schooling, right? So there was a possibility that he could ask his parents for him to invest the money in the business as well instead of going to school, if that was an option. So maybe if they didn't get the grants, his parents did have that money stashed away along for him to invest in the company as well. If the grants did go his way, I suppose.
And one last one for me. The final slide you were showing, can you go to the last slide, where the cash flows over? Yeah. So you have these savings, and how do you get 90,600? Just adding all these?
Yeah, he's saving that each year, just keeping that in the bank. You're just gonna keep that there and let it accumulate until he's done school.
Why wouldn't you put it in the mutual fund that's giving you 8% return?
We don't wanna lose, like you said, if it goes negative, we don't wanna lose all the money for the company, right? That was more of a personal investment for him, the mutual fund. Whereas here, we don't wanna put the company at risk because that's pretty crucial to everything, his income, his future, yeah. So we didn't wanna take any risk with the company since that's pretty much his main source of income right now. So that's why we just left it in just a regular savings account.
No, I just want to say, great job. I commended the other group too, like, for you guys to see, it's it is, it's awesome. Keep
Well,
practicing
it's
it.
in the paper for 3 hours. I hope we know.
So I did want to ask, in terms of, the loan, that $30,000.
Okay.
So did you say, so it was a grant that you were getting, or was that from family and friends that you received the capital from?
I mean, a little bit of both. There's definitely a family that was interested, like you said earlier, the family was willing to invest. In the end, either way, he would have got the money, we think, with the grants, between the grants. So if he couldn't find enough in the grants, then, because we did some looking, there are lots of grants that are applicable to him for young business owners that want to start small businesses.
Okay.
So if he didn't get accepted for all the grants or whatnot, his parents did have the money put away. So we just went along the lines that he would get accepted for the grants because he's bred in entrepreneurship, he's a good entrepreneur, so.
He also opened a GoFundMe page as well.
Yes,
So that's just something to fall back on as well. Not sure how well it
There's
is.
no
Time.
differences, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. All right, great.